This is a repeated introduction, so if you've already seen the first 3 racket skills for beginners, you can jump to the actual exercises. The time is on the screen now. The ability to control the ball through precise manipulation of the racket head is key in being able to adapt to your opponent's shot when playing on court. The following group of exercises is one of 4 designed specifically for beginners and new players to improve that racket control ability. I'm going to be showing you each exercise individually so you know what you're doing, and then we're going to be putting them together into one non-stop routine which I call follow along drills. The colour of the dot that you use for these exercises is not important, but of course if you are a beginner or a new player you should be using either a blue or a red dot ball when you're actually playing on court. I recommend keeping a number of balls in your pocket and another one in your hand if the exercise allows. In the top left corner you'll see a countdown and also a bar showing you how much time each exercise has left. The video is a 1-to-1 ratio to make sure it's easier to use in a mobile device. Other racket skills videos can be found up here, links also in the text description. Do this set of exercises as often as you want, and when you feel it's easy, move on to another one. Count the number of times the ball bounces on the ground, and the next time you do this set of exercises, your target is 1 less drop. All exercises are to be performed first on the forehand and then on the backhand side, but do not change your grip to make it easier on the backhand. If you've got goggles, wear them even for these type of exercises because it will help you become more accustomed to them. Okay, so the first exercise is simply bouncing the ball. Now your objective is to make the ball move as little as possible, and by move I mean vertically. I'm not talking about the height, obviously it has to move, but we don't want the ball going over here all of the time. We want it in a straight line as possible. This is exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is like the previous ones. We're going to take the ball or the racket as far away from us as possible, and then we're going to bring it into us as far as possible and then out again. The next exercise is the one we've seen before, where we actually go across our body and then we come back. That's the next exercise. And then the third exercise, now I'm going to try and do this. I've got a racket here that I've got balance in, but it's very windy today. My objective is to go in a circle around the racket. There we go. So I'm going to be going around the racket. So those are the first 4 exercises. Then we're going to be doing them on the backhand, exactly the same thing, trying to keep this as vertically as possible. And then we're going to go away from us and towards us, and then to the left and to the right, and in a circle. And then the third mini set is where we practice going from forehand to backhand and doing the movement. Now I want to briefly explain why this is important. When we're bouncing the ball, any small change in the racket angle changes where the ball goes. So initially, if you can keep the racket, I'm just going to remove that, it's going to fall over for sure in a minute. If you can keep the ball, moving in a perfectly straight line, that means that you're timing the ball perfectly. When we start to move the ball away, towards us, to the side, to the left, in a circle, we're having to make small adjustments. We're having to control the ball. So when I want the ball to come from here to here, as I make contact, it's got to be just a little bit like this, so that the ball comes this way. So all of these exercises are designed for the very small changes in the racket angle for you to control the ball. And as I've said before, when you're playing, you need to make small adjustments all of the time to control the ball. And that's what these do. Okay, so it's time for the follow-on. I'll get this timer started and off we go. Remember, just doing 30 seconds of this. Going to move back a little bit so I'm not in that way. Just trying to keep the ball as vertical as possible. I'll come a bit closer. All I'm trying to do, nothing else. Got some exercises that we can do for this later, another time. This is the basic one though. Remember, if it's going all over the place, you need to change it. Now the next one is bring it close to you, right up close, doesn't have to touch the body. Take it away. as far away as possible. That's what happens when you do that. Bring it close to you, take it away. Not big bounces, but not small bounces either. Bring it close to you. You need to be in control all of the time. Alright, here we go. This next one. So I'm going to start away, and then I'm going to bring it across my body. Now I can bring it close if I want to. I can bring it like this, close to my body if I want to. Or I can take it around here. Doesn't matter. Be in control of the ball. Alright, here we go. This one is going around this racket that has been in the way all of the time. You don't need a racket, of course. If you want to, you can just do it without a racket, but it's a good guide. Now I'm going clockwise. Maybe halfway through you could change, go counterclockwise. It's not that important. You just want to get the control to be able to put it in a circle. Alright, now I'll switching to backhand. Alright, so I'm starting with the vertical. So all I want to do, as consistently as possible. Now most of the time I make mistakes doing these, it's because I'm looking at the camera to make sure that it's all in view. You shouldn't have to do that. Now I'm hitting the ball a bit higher than I would normally. Maybe if I weren't worried about that racket in front of me, I might have it lower. Alright. Away from me, and I've knocked the racket over. That ruined my routine. Away from me, towards me. Away from me, towards me. Notice how I'm not so much in control anymore. Remember, your backhand grip must be the same as it would normally be for backhands. Alright, across the front of my body. And across the other way. I made a mistake. Sorry about that. That camera equipment is very off-putting. That's my excuse. I need a microphone. There we go. Right, now this is the circle. Now I don't have the racket. As I said, you don't need the racket. You can get the guide anyway. Forgive all of the blinds being pulled up. Everybody has blinds here in Spain and we use them and they are wonderful. In a circle. Maybe go back the other way. That's it. So as I said, it doesn't matter whether you have a guide or not, you can just use it. Right, now here we go. We're going forward and backhand, forehand, backhand. Just trying to keep it as vertical as possible. No lateral, no side to side movements. You can do it out in front of you, or you can do it in nearer the side. I have to admit my forearm is really feeling as though it's working. Doing those backhands is hard work. Right, so now it's away from me, on purpose, towards me. Away. Not doing a good job. Worried about the camera again. I know I'm out of shot there, sorry. Towards me. Definitely feeling it in my wrist, my forearm now, getting tired. Away, towards. 2 forehands there, right. Across the body. Trying to remain in control at all times. Across the body. How you doing? You with me? And we've got that final one now. This is the in the circle. Really feeling it in my forearm now. So if I am, I'm pretty sure you will be too. Maybe I'll go anti-clockwise. This is clockwise now. I was going anti-clockwise. Maybe one direction is easier for you. If it is, do that. This is the last one. There we go, we're finished. That was the follow along. Now of course you can do this as much as you want. You can do them in any particular order. I've gone in the order, sorry for the train, I've gone in the specific order: vertical, away from, close to, side to side, and then in a circle. But you can mix them, you can do them for longer, you can adapt them. This is just the basic routine for you to get started. So go do some. On the screen at the moment is a subscription button. If you think my content is useful, please consider subscribing. And there's also a playlist of all of the other Squash at Home videos, as well as a video that YouTube thinks is a really good fit for you based on what you've been watching. And remember, do something every single day to improve your squash. See ya.